Welcome back to the channel. My name's Tefty. Today we are looking at the Korg Modwave, and I'm just going to be making some patches with it, or a patch. It might just be one patch because you can get lost in the sauce on this synthesizer. So it's just going to be a simple video, and if you're interested in seeing the perspective of someone who is relatively new to making a patch on this particular wavetable synth, then this might be eye-opening for you. If you're very aware of how to program this synthesizer, then it could be annoying because I might not know some specific things that that you already know about how to program this synth. But if you're curious about the new user experience, you know, I have actually made a few patches already on this, so I'm not like completely new to it. But you know, I haven't really done much with the step sequencer and all that. But it is a very complex synthesizer. On the surface, it looks simple because, you know, it's laid out relatively simple. But as soon as you consider the two layers, you know, you have layer A, which is essentially one sound, and then layer B, which is basically two mod waves essentially combined, or two engines combined, then it gets extremely complex. And that's only considering the 5 LFOs per layer and 4 envelopes per layer, which is nuts for modulation, right? And then take that one step further into the sequencer lanes, and these are per layer as well. So you have timing, pitch, shape, and then 4 modulation, destination type of stuff, or custom sequence type of things per layer. So it's nuts. Oh yeah, the chaos pad and the mod knobs, like, it's crazy. Incidentally, the mod knobs and the chaos pad, I believe, control both layer A and B. So if you want to control, say, like the filter cutoff of both layers, then it's like these are the destinations or the mod wheel that you need to focus on to do that. But my thoughts is create something ambient. Surprise, surprise. This is obviously a very, very, very capable machine of doing some interesting ambient sounds. So let's do that, right? So we have an Init patch right here. Some saw waves right there. So layer A is on, layer B is off, and they are 2 saw waves. So let's turn down oscillator 2. So we just have oscillator 1. Let's see. Oh yeah, enter. Yep. So yeah, first oscillator. So one thing that I do notice about this is it is on the sterile side, and I say that cautiously. I'm not saying that this synth is sterile specifically. I'm just saying that because it is a digital synthesizer, and the way that Korg has implemented the software architecture, it doesn't immediately jump out at you as having vibe or character. You kind of have to program that into the patch. And that might be something that you like or dislike, or maybe both. Because for me, I find myself having to go in and customize the vintageness every single time, because I always want that. Whereas some synths, you know, they kind of have like one knob that gives vintage across everything. Like, so specifically, if we go perform and then page over to the random pitch range, like this, I'm just always going to turn this up. And you know, you can't do too much, otherwise it's weird. You know, that's out of tune, obviously. But if you know, 5, 6, maybe 7. Let's turn it off. See, super stable sounding, and then I don't need that much. Let's go 8. So from super stable to we got some character now. So, or at least the beginnings of character. Now, a synth that has an actual vintage or drift type of stuff usually is more than just the pitch or the subtle random pitch change. It's usually all the circuitry kind of shifting generally a little bit, and like that's usually what an analog synth is going to do. It's going to have like the filter just slightly wiggle in terms of, or it's going to be slightly off a little bit, and like the envelopes are just, you know, maybe they're just slightly out a little bit, you know, like all kinds of circuitry is just subtly shifting around, you know. So in a way, you kind of have to just start putting that stuff with like the LFOs and all that, which there's plenty of LFOs and modulation sources, so it's not that big of a deal. But anyways, I kind of digress. So we're sounding very virtual analog right now. We need to get to maybe a place in between. So like maybe some virtual analog with that wavetable sound. You know, that's kind of like what I like. I'm not really a huge fan of shrieking, harsh digital ice picks in the ear. I do like, you know, I like some gentle tones in my eardrums. So the first wavetable is your standard virtual analog type of stuff. Which sounds great, honestly. But we're gonna change it up. So, let's see. So, by the way, there's a absolute ton of wavetables in this thing. Like, I think it's like 200, or maybe it's more, and you can add your own as well. That box EP sounds nice. Maybe we'll do the box EP. It's also an analyzer, which is nice. Okay, so we got the box EP. We should also blend as well. So you have two different types. You have your regular wavetable, and then you have wavetable A and B that can be per oscillator. So again, with the insane amount of wavetables combined with blending wavetables, combined with the morph types and all that, it's just a little difficult to comprehend what's totally possible. You know, you kind of, as soon as you start multiplying all this stuff, your head goes, okay, I'm at my limit. Which is a good thing, honestly. So blending towards A, and then all the way to the basic wavetable, basic 2, which, you know, you could do that. So basic 2 starts out with square, sine, and then saw, which is pretty cool. Let's blend those. So now we have like a virtual analog meets wavetable type of experience right here. What we need to do is get some animation on those. Normally I would just hook up an LFO just to start with, but maybe we should jump right into the sequencing to kind of kick that off, because I do have sequence steps here. Let's see, record? Yeah, okay, so we hit record. We want to go sequence A, select a lane to record, pitch, or sequence A, yeah. So we want that. It's already used for general purpose modulation. This is an init patch. Is it already used? Enter to clear data. Enter. Clear step lane. Okay, huh, interesting. So A was already, had stuff in there, I guess? Okay, let's see. Let's do this. Wait, move a knob to start. Well, that ain't working. Okay, it's cleared. Ready to record. Play a note to start. Hold note until done. Okay. Interesting. Come on, just slow this down. As it jumped to 300 BPM. Wait, how do I go faster? I guess go like this. Yeah, let's put it down to like 69. Okay, let's go oscillator 1 for the blend. So I will make it random though. Maybe like random 5. And then we'll turn down the frequency, make it relatively slow. And then we're gonna do some modulation. To add a modulation to the board, you hold mod and you press the right page button. And then you have to choose your target. My target is the blend. And then I'm gonna choose oscillator 1 LFO, hit enter. I'll turn this up a bit. Not, well, I guess all the way to get the feeling. That is already pretty cool. let's actually go to the sequencer lane here. One thing I want to do is I want to put note advance. So what's going to happen here then is every time I hit the thing, it starts one more further. So it's going to create some like variation from where things start. Yeah, okay, we got something there. I would actually like to turn down the intensity of this sequence A to the position. In fact, I wonder if I could do that in here, the modulation. So we got blend, position, here we go. Yeah, I can turn it down, nice. So let's maybe drop it down to 44. All right. Turn it down really low. Yeah. One thing that I don't know is if you can modulate a modulation intensity. I guess let's find out. Can I go here and then hit enter? Sorry, you cannot modulate that. Okay. So that's a question I had, is whether or not you can modulate the intensity of a modulation right there. But I guess you would do it here. Modulation source, yeah, I guess this is how you'd actually do it. So let's go to the generators, and I guess let's just do oscillator 1, LFO, just because that's already slow and random. And then what happens? Can you turn this up? I think that's doing what I'm thinking. Technically not 100% sure, but let's keep moving on. So we have a nice foundational sound here. She's got some stuff going on. Oh yeah, one thing that I like to do as well to kind of simulate a bit more character is throw the pan of these oscillators all over the place. Or at least start making them feel like they wiggle a bit, so it feels like it's taking up more stereo image than if it was just, you know, sitting dead in the middle. I think I might do a couple modulations with that. In fact, I could actually take sequence A, throw that a little bit towards the pan as well, which would be pretty cool. So I guess let's do that. So we're going to just grab this pan like that, and then hit modulation, enter, because that's what I had selected. And then I believe I can hit this. Yeah, step sequencer A. And then let's go 200%. That is already sounding awesome. Turn down a bit. Maybe, I don't know, 85. I mean, that's basically oscillator 1 with 2 wavetables and some modulation and some like drift, or baked in drift. No effects or anything. I don't know what this effect. Oh yeah, this is off right now, so yeah. Cool. Let's add some more stuff. Maybe we'll also increase the release. Our cutoff is fully open right now. Yeah, so oscillator 2. Let's actually turn down oscillator 1. I think I'm also going to throw in a bit more variation into the tuning of oscillator 2. for even more stuff. So let's have that selected. Modulation, enter. Let's use the sequence, since it's kind of all over the place. We'll throw a 5 synths. You know, we'll go one step further as well. We'll do another modulation thing. We'll go tuning right there. And this time we'll use the LFO. And give it, I don't know, -7 or 0.7. Cool. Let's go to the next LFO actually. Drop this frequency down. So oscillator 2 LFO. Dropping it down. I guess we'll keep it at triangle for now. Yeah, because we're going to do the panning now. So let's go pan. Modulation. What I just was using. Oscillator 2. Enter. Oops. Enter. And then just a bit. Too much. Bring the other oscillator in. This one might be drifting a little too much out. I think once we put some reverb on there, it'll be fine. So I want this volume to pulse. Like this. I think that would be cool. Oscillator 2 is already doing kind of a slow pulse type of thing. Maybe that'll work. Let's find out. So we want the volume, let's say maybe about 15 or so. The volume that we just had, yes. And then oscillator 2, enter, and then start bringing it. Okay, 100 is the max. So maybe 20? It's actually pretty cool. We need to change up the wavetable though in oscillator 2, because I don't want it to be like pure VA. So let's go back to turning down volume 1. Oscillator 1 volume. Go to wave select. Actually, let's do the 2 wave. So we'll blend to wave A initially. Back to wave select. Find something. Unison. Saw? Ooh. It's interesting. Unexpected. It's nice too. Man, there's so many like fun sounding wavetables in here. Okay, let's blend to B. That's already a sine wave. Sine wave is kind of good. Although we're going to wiggle the position, so that's not really going to work if we stick with that. So, wavetable. Wavetable 2. Crackles. Oh, that's nice dust. Since this is low in volume, that actually might be really cool to have that on there as well. Yeah, I'm going to do that. So we got crackles. And then blend in. That is freaking cool, man. Let's turn up the volume. So gentle. I'm gonna do a trick in here. I did watch Oscillator Sync's video on programming some of this, so I did get a little knowledge, from that. And one trick that I thought was really cool was triggering an envelope. Actually, I guess we'll do Oscillator 2 envelope via a modulation source. So what you do, so let's set this up to be super short attack, relatively short decay. By the way, shout out to Oscillator Sync for being awesome. Got that. Let's go to the next page over, or 2 pages over. And it's the trigger source. So first off, let's turn the note off. So the actual envelope will not trigger from notes. But we go to trigger source, and then we get to choose where we want this to happen. I forget. Oh, actually, I think we do the sequencer as well, which is pretty cool. Generator. Can we go sequencer A on this? Yeah, step sequence A. So that's really cool. So we already have some relative randomness right here that we can use. Although it is going pretty fast. We want something slower. So you know what? We'll save the idea of linking that to step sequencer A for another time. Let's go to Oscillator 1 LFO, because I believe that had some randomness. Or actually, no, we could just make a new one, like amp. Well, let's make amp. Amp LFO. We'll do that. And the trigger threshold, I don't know, maybe like 70, something like that. So amp LFO. We want to make this random. I guess let's do 4, random 4. Let's make it pretty slow. Maybe 287 here. Offset, actually fade in. We'll fade in a little bit because we don't necessarily want it to happen right away. If it were to like trigger this this envelope, because we want these to be little glitches. Let's see. Yeah, I think that works right there. So what we need to do is link this to some stuff here. Maybe position. Position would probably make the most sense. I could also do morph. I haven't even touched a morph on this. Yeah. So we'll do a new modulation. It's going to be position of oscillator 2, and it's going to be tied to oscillator 2 envelope. And we'll give it maybe that much, maybe something like that. Let's make it obvious. I think I missed something because I don't think it's working. Let's turn up the frequency. And let's go back to the modulation. Maybe maybe the trigger threshold is too high. Amp LFO, amp LFO. Maybe we just need to turn up this frequency. Okay, we do want it to be seldom. So that actually is good. But then we also need to not have it so aggressive. So we can turn this down. Something like this. Yeah, just a little bit. Also, the decay is too long. Needs to be little glitches. We also need to do the blend as well. I guess we'll do the same thing. No, you know what? I'm going to have the blend. I think step sequencer A is just going to subtly shift that. So let's tune this, adjust it, enter. That is going to be this. Please and thank you. Okay. I don't really want to filter this too much because I'm liking this high-end energy. Maybe a little bit off the top. And then I could also have a really slow LFO adjusting the cutoff. Yeah, filter cutoff from LFO 2, or oscillator 2 LFO. And I think we'll just have it drop a bit. Maybe like that. Cool. Let's go to these morph function thingies. I'm going to turn down oscillator 2. I'm going to crank oscillator 1. I don't know what I want to do with this specifically. Maybe change the type. These are all really obvious. Ooh, window is kind of nice. Window narrow. Let's go with that. It's almost like a phaser chorus effect, which I think some real subtle movement, once again, maybe from oscillator 2 LFO. So let's do that. Oscillator 1 morph, oscillator 2 LFO, enter, turn it up a bit. I even think maybe some step A sequence going into the morph to also throw in some additional modulation could be pretty cool. I think what's crazy is I don't know what the limit is on the mods, but I feel like you can just keep on dumping modulation routings constantly. Just this, that, just pile it all on, which is amazing, but also gets very confusing when you need to go back and find out what you did and peel it back. Like there's no simple way, at least I don't think anyways, to be like, what has all the modulation stuff? If you use the application, you can click on one of these things, like the editor librarian, you can click on a parameter and it'll tell you what's connected to it. But as it is on the hardware, it's not very straightforward to peel back the layers if you need to. Intensity, maybe a bit. Cool. What happens when we bring this in? Cool. I mean, that's with no effects so far. That's just technically a dry signal. I think that's pretty cool. We could throw the sub in here, but we might just save that for another layer, because what I am hearing is it's like, it's a bit on the thin side right now, which technically we could throw EQ. Like, let's try that real quick. Yeah, EQ, the shelving, I guess 150 or something. And then oh, EQ's off. I was like, why am I hearing nothing? There we go. I was like 15 dB and not hearing anything? Doubt. That actually warmed up pretty nice. We should save this real quick, just in case. Teft patch, enter. Great. Just in case we screw something up and need to go back to it. All right, let's go back to the EQ. Let's turn the EQ off just for now because we are going to throw in layer B. And that might actually fix any kind of lacking in the bottom end. Might not. Might have to put it back on. Don't know. But let's turn those off. I'm going to keep the reverb off for now as well because reverb is always like, that's nice. Of course it sounds better. So we don't need to throw on a for sure that sounds nice thing. We need to create sonic interest with the actual engine, synth engine. So what we have not done yet is done anything with the modulation wheel, knobs, or the chaos pad. We've only used one step sequencer, and this is per layer, which I did mention earlier. So we do technically have 3 more random modulation things that we could do, which I don't really know what else I want to do specifically. Like I technically like what's happening right there. What I could see happening is throwing in some different modulation into sequence B, C, and D, and then having the mod knobs increase that, kind of some craziness or something. But let's go to layer B. Let's turn off layer A. And we once again have a saw patch. 2 oscillators that are doing saw. Now what's interesting is the additional stuff that I did to make pitch drift and all that happen was exclusively on layer A. You know, I do have the global drift per note. So that's still happening. But now I don't have access to that stuff I did. But you know what, that's fine. We should do something maybe fundamental. So, oops, crap. Layer B. One thing I don't like is if you go like this, well, maybe it did do it. Weird. I don't know why it was off. Okay. Actually, let's go to basic 2. Basic 2 had, yeah, the sign in the middle. So you could just kind of wiggle back and forth with these, which I kind of like. Let's go oscillator 1, modulation, this to that, por favor. Yeah, that's nice. Let's turn it down just a bit though. No. And let's fade it in, so maybe a second. Cool. Let's also have the amplitude fade in 2.5 seconds. And then a long release, 4 seconds, 5 seconds. Nice. Maybe for oscillator 2, we'll use the sample. I don't think I mentioned that at all. There's also like just 4 gigabytes worth of samples that you can load up on here, which is crazy. Let's do that real quick, actually. Let's turn that down. Oscillator 2 comes up. And change it to sample. It's automatically a sine wave. Maybe something like a voice or something? Like a flute overblown? Pan flute. One thing that I don't like though about sample stuff is I don't think position and like blend, you can't do any morphing. I don't think anyways. Oh, you could do modulation, which is actually kind of interesting. Amplitude modulation, or audio modulation. Turn this one down an octave. Yeah. Again, this is a layer for our A patch. Let's hear it already. Know what I want to do with knob 1 for the mods. I want to adjust the attack time of at least patch or layer A, so I can take away the attack if I want during performance. Let's do it right now, actually. So we're on layer A already. So modulation is attack, amplitude attack, yes, and it's going to be mod knob. Enter. Intensity, I guess, is going to be all the way, or whoa. It's not what I want. So like this. You know, this is kind of, that top end is kind of annoying me now. So maybe mod knob 2 is going to be like a tone button. Let's do that. Let's go cut off, tone, or mod knob 2, enter. So we can crank it up. Maybe more. Yes. Turn this back on. So these volumes need to come down. The oscillator 1 of layer B also needs to pan kind of haphazardly, so let's set that up. Let's go pitch. Actually, oscillator 2. Yeah. Make that random. Slow down the frequency to say maybe somewhere around there. Let's go add to here the pitch of oscillator 1, oscillator 2 LFO, maybe like so. Nice, a little bit of a swim effect. Now we're going to do a similar thing to the second oscillator, but we're going to make it less obvious and reverse the intensity. God, it's so sensitive. Like, I just want a bit. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, maybe we need some reverb now, since we need like a bona fide, yes, this sounds great addition to it. There is a cathedral preset in here that I kind of crutch on. So we're going to crutch on it. We'll turn up a bit of layer A, a bit of layer B, like maybe so. I think we need the release being turned up with this as well on both patches. So go attack, release, mod knob 1, like so. Do the same thing with here. Amplitude, release, amp, release, yes. Mod knob 1, enter. Up a bit. Oh, that shortened it also. Forgot. Because it's bipolar. We need more reverb. Oh, I forgot to adjust the size of this stuff. Like the time and all that. Maybe turn down the timbre. Layer A needs a little bit of delay. Let's turn off layer B for now. You know, it's crazy how much modulation is on this, and it did not ship with aftertouch on the keyboard. That kind of blows my mind. Like, this is an awesome keyboard, or an awesome synthesizer, I should say. And one of its biggest downfalls is honestly the keys and the lack of aftertouch. Because it's like, I know you already have like the mod knobs, modulation, and then chaos and all that, but man, sometimes you want to just lay into a patch to make it bark at you, and that's just not possible with this. It's a real shame. It has poly aftertouch in here that you can program too, so you know, maybe if this was like a module and then you had a keyboard with poly aftertouch, that'd be freaking cool. Oh, will there be back on? Maybe this pan flute needs a change. else. Kind of think that's more interesting than the pan flute. Ooh, pop-o. Tape voice choir. Okay, that's pretty cool. Maybe I do need another wavetable in here. I know, I was thinking like, it's not enough, it's not wavetable enough. needs a bit more. Let's go blend. Wavetable. Growl. Select this. Let's actually do a modification. A lot of these sound good. Low 20 with the tape choir. This is actually working. This one's super slow. Let's morph this thing with the pitch. Okay. So our filter is wide open so far on layer B. Maybe the tone will bring it down. So, but not by much, just a bit. Oh. Did it backwards. Actually, that's kind of cool. So, like, the tones reverse each other. Like I made a mess. I think I'm gonna reverse this. I'm gonna bring this back up. Yeah, it'd be better that way. So brighter, and legitimately darker this way. I think that's better. That high end is really nice. Oh, the key tracking is quite high. How do we adjust that? Let's see. Key track. It's right in front of me. I don't think I want any key tracking, honestly. Yeah, this oscillator 1 in layer B is just bugging me, but I like it when I hear it. Oh crap. Did the thing again. I need to change it. Maybe it's the modulation? Yeah, let's go odd only. And maybe odd only on basic too as well. Anyways, I think that's good enough for now. I've been recording for like an hour. I think that's enough time for making a patch. I didn't touch the chaos physics at all. I didn't touch the mod wheel. I only used one sequencer lane. But I think that kind of underlines how freaking complex the synth can be, because it's very straightforward and deceivingly complex at the same time. Or I don't know, maybe it's very complex and or maybe it's obviously complex just by looking at it. I don't know. Like when I look at this section, it does feel like complexity, but this stuff seems pretty straightforward, you know? Yeah. Anyways, if you enjoyed the video, give it a like, leave a comment, subscribe, all that stuff. Definitely appreciate all the support. Helps out with the channel. And if you like this stuff, let me know and I'll make more of it. So thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Deuces.